Welcome, everyone. We are here for Ashley's Heart Song, and this is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. Why? Because when we tap into the song of our heart, that is when we begin mastering the mind and the stress that can steal our life. Welcome to today's show. We are going to have some fun today. I have the beautiful Cara Jean Wilson that is going to be joining me on the stage platform here in just a minute. But first, let's just tap in. Let's just tap in for just a moment. Get all centered and aligned. And the way we want to do this is you can just simply ask a question of, okay, where am I? Am I sitting in my body? Is my mind just kind of whirring around? Where are you in time and space right now? Just connect. And the next thing we can do is by taking in a breath. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. That shifts us into parasympathetic, that rest and digest state. Another big breath, release it with ease. And just get present, centered. Now, where are you? Are you still in your head, or have you dropped into your heart? That's where we want to get. We want to drop into the heart space so that we are truly tapped in, centered, relaxed, at ease, mobilizing fat, utilizing that fat for energy and thinking power. And here we are ready. And that just elevated your vitality just by tapping in for a moment. Just a moment, you can increase your vitality that quick. All right, so let me talk a little bit about Cara. Cara Jean Wilson is a dynamic executive leadership coach known for guiding high achievers to align their professional success with a life they love. With a knack for turning complex challenges into clear, actionable practices, she has helped countless leaders and entrepreneurs break free from the hustle culture and build sustainable, fulfilling success. Cara's unique approach blends strategic business insights with a deep understanding of human potential, emphasizing the power of clarity, connection, and community. Cara Jean Wilson, welcome to Ashley's Heart Song.
I'm so excited to be here. I love hearing other people talk about me. I'm like, man, she sounds cool.
Isn't that fun? Who is that girl? I want to be her.
Oh,
Wow. Well, Cara Jean, welcome. And why don't you just give us just a little nugget of information about you? Who are you?
I had a whole thought that I was going to share when I came in, but what's on my mind right now is I'm an executive coach. I do leadership development. And I love that you use the phrase, where are you, just physically in your body? Because in leadership, we ask that same question, right? So we say, where are you on the leadership line? Are you below the line in that fixed mindset where everything is hard and there's not enough and I have to be right, because if I'm not right, everything is going to be awful and my whole world slipped into that survival space, versus the where are you above the line, in that like it's curious and playful and fun, and from that place almost everything is just ridiculously laughable because life, am I right? Come on. and and checking in with yourself, like literally just checking in with yourself, putting yourself in that heart space, and then asking and putting your brain into that where am I space also, and that alignment that immediately happens when you do those two things together. That's the place I like to play. Like, let's do that and then create things.
Yes. Yes, because the creation process happens so much easier when you get out of your own way.
Yeah. And then you can start doing it with people. And then then you accomplish so much more, so much faster.
That's the way to do it. More done, less time. Beautiful. So, Cara, how did you even get into this? I know your business is titled Taking Cara Business, CARA, Taking
Yes.
Care of Business. And I know you have a whole philosophy on that, which we'll get to. But what led you to even doing this?
You know, in hindsight, so because you get asked this question a lot as you start getting out into the world. And in hindsight, like obviously this is where I was always going. One of those. The first time I took my first dual certification course when I was 8 years old because I wanted to babysit for the local suburb. So I got my babysitting certification and a CPR certification because you want to leave it with the safe person, right? I took on my first management position, my first team, when I was living, it was 15 years old. I was living in Mexico. And the lady who ran the trailer park that we were camped at on the beach decided to open a hamburger stand and said, "You're the best at math. You're in charge of the whole team." So I had a 5-person team in a language I didn't speak. Well, I mean, I like ghetto spoke, like childish spoke. And and I was responsible for everybody, and it was wonderful. It was like the best fun ever. Um, and then fast forward many, many, many years later, I was in Texas during Hurricane Ike, and I was working in a pet shop, and I had the first realization of what the difference between like managing and like the doing of things versus leadership, and where that change happens, where you stop managing everything and you start letting people lead themselves and supporting that and seeing what they need to get things done. And I was like, well, this is so much easier. Why have I been doing the hard work? Like that's so much more when I could just ask them what they need and then provide that. And they're super excited about it. Like they're so when you do that, they're like, "Oh, you're the," and you're like, "I thought you just told me what I didn't even have to think. I just got you the thing, the widget, the tool, the space, the thought process that you needed to make, yeah, have that." Fast forward a few years later, I'm leading in this restaurant, and they are a people first and literally a people first place, that like they don't just say it, they behave in that direction. And doing the leadership, we're leaning into developing a leadership curriculum for the management within the company. And my brother took himself out of this world. Like I'm in the middle of it. And suddenly, the hormone soup was soupy, grief soup, swimming through it, swimming through it. And I got to be in this company that genuinely put people first. So first they said, "We have 2 restaurants up by where your parents live. Would you like to move home? We'll create a position for you." So I did. I mean, it took that was a whole process in of itself, but I finally let my guard down enough to be like, actually, that would be probably really helpful right now with what I'm going through, and that would be amazing. And I appreciate it so much. Thanks, because that was not my, I was like, no, I can muscle.
Mhm.
But because of that whole experience and how they allowed me to continue working into this leadership development. And we did this major lean into emotional intelligence, into what does that mean on like to deliver at the job level that is required? What is the work that goes into that? And we got into coaching, and I got to go get certified. And then we had a pandemic, and I was like, I'm never doing any of this. Is hard work. This is like working in a restaurant during a pandemic. No, they look, I'm mouthy. Um, and I'm extra protective of my people. And we're in a pandemic, and people felt that they were entitled to come in and yell at my staff. And I didn't take that well. I did not. I never did take that well. And the company was legitimately concerned on like if somebody was going to drive a car through my restaurant because my mouth might get in the way. Thank goodness I was also 9 months pregnant. So the mouth had this big belly in front of it, and people were like nicer to me during that. So I thought, you know what, I'm done with this doing it in somebody else's business thing. Everything that I've learned with all the free time I'm gonna have when I have this baby on a maternity leave, I'll just start a business.
So much free time.
If somebody said that to me today, I would laugh in their face. But tell me, why is it that none of the amazing women in my world laughed in my face? They were like, "That sounds like something you do." And I was like, "Why didn't you look at me and be like, chick, Mm-mm. So I took my first client like within a week of having a baby, and I didn't take my next one until like 6 months later.
Mhm.
And
Not surprised.
here we are 4 years later.
Still keeping on, and with the kid in tow still.
Yes. My most favorite recent thing is because we do this at home, right? Like this once it is so inundated my entire life. My kid the other day goes, I don't want to process, but I can see you're frustrated and maybe you should take 3 breaths before we go forward. You're right. Mama's doing her part too. They don't warn you that when you raise emotionally intelligent children that they call you out on all of your crap.
How old?
4.
Boy or girl?
Little boy going on 40, I'm fairly certain.
I mean, to be able to word something like that, yes.
I'm in so much trouble.
Kara, that's hilarious. The teacher is being taught.
They say when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. I thought I was going to be the teacher, though. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. So
No, our
wrong.
kids are our greatest teachers.
And I parallel that to my leadership, right? Because when you go to work and you allow that the same curiosity and fun that when we allow ourselves that with our children, it's just so much better. And we block ourselves holy bunches in that place. Same way we do at work, right? We put all these barriers and expectations in front of just the play and the curiosity and that being in your heart song plays, right? But when you let that happen and you can take that from home to work to the grocery store, the fun and weird and innovative things, the learning that you get from it, you become the student everywhere, and the teachers are vast and brilliant.
Yeah, they are. Something my Qigong instructor is always telling us is you show up with the beginner's mind. You may have done this beginner stance a million times, but you are to show up as the beginner once again to learn on an even deeper level. So it's always showing up with that beginner mindset, with that child mindset, you know, the one that can absorb and learn
And
more
to be fun.
and have fun. Mhm.
Yeah. I had somebody told me once when I was growing up, and it stuck with me. It was at a wedding of a friend, and it was just some random person leaned over and was like, "Babe, you have two choices in life. You can be fabulous, or you cannot be fabulous. And you get to decide what fabulous is. And the thing that's going to blow you away in the world is that people will constantly choose not to be fabulous when those are the options." She's like, "What are you going to choose?" I was like, "To be fabulous." She's like, "Work on that." I didn't know she was like dropping a gauntlet. I thought that was just a cute conversation. Turns out, though, like that's the work.
Yeah. Wow. That's fun. I choose to be fabulous.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then all the opportunities and lessons that come with that, because you know you're going to be challenged when you choose to be fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all those wonderful challenges that make you become even more fabulous.
Yeah. And really define what you think of as fabulous,
Yeah.
right? Like as I get older, that I don't know that I'm learning so much more. There are certainly more experiences, and I definitely have a better idea of what are the experiences I want more of and which ones the ones I'm thanks, I'm done. No, somebody else can have those. They're not for me. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. I'm going to think about that. What is fabulous for me? Audience, you'll do the same thing. What does fabulous mean to you? If you were to declare, I am fabulous and I choose to be fabulous, then what does that look like? What does it feel like in your body to be fabulous? Oh, that's fun. There's a little confidence bubble, more of a calm confidence, not ego confidence, but just that peaceful confidence. You know, mhm, yeah. And
The
there's a
joy
joy
of a
bubble.
4-year-old.
What did you say?
The authority of a 4-year-old, you know?
Yeah. Oh. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So fun. So, Kara, other than your 4-year-old, what inspires you?
Oh man. Uh,
We talk about in here at Ashley's Heart Song that inspiration comes from within. It's never without. And, like whenever I'll ask clients this, like, what is that inspires you? And it's so fun when I hear, oh, my grandbaby, because it makes me want to get down on the floor with them and play. And, it makes me want to be like that. And it's like, okay, well, if your grandbaby had been your inspiration all along, then you wouldn't be in the condition you are right now. So we've got to find what is it that truly inspires you to make you be better, to make you be that fabulous that you are desiring to be. And what is that fuel that never, ever, ever goes away, right? What would that be for you, Kara?
I had all of these really great inspirational words that I pre-planned that I would say in this moment. But when you asked, did you see it stump me? Like I literally, because what came to my mind in the moment being asked that face to face, which isn't it funny that we think all of these brilliant things, and then as soon as somebody asks us point blank, we have a different answer that shows up. Oh, hey, how you do it? Paint, which is a weird thing, perhaps, to attach to motivation and intrinsic power. I have experienced a lot of pain in my life, very from physical to emotional, you know, spiritual, the gauntlet. We've experienced some experiences in this life. Um, and one of the experiences around pain is that seems to be the point where people start to feel connected, that they recognize that pain is universal. And I don't mind my own pain. I know how to handle pain, better or worse. There's that. I dislike other people being in pain. And what I find so interesting about most pain, and I can't say all, I haven't met everybody, can't say all, but in everyone that I have ever encountered, the pain comes from never a place of negativity. The pain comes from a place of loss, which is a place of love. It comes from a place of grief, which again is a place of love. I mean, the pains that we go through typically are around some joy and helping bridge that gap. And it's sort of like bridging the woo woo with the corporate. It's like bridging the mind and the body. It is that when you recognize the pain isn't necessarily always having to be painful, but simply recognizing that we all go through the traumas and dramas of life, the human task. Congratulations, you're doing it right. I'm sorry. But behind that, because that's the front, right? Because that's what you see the pain. You can that is you can see that in other people. You can witness what they are going through. And what I wish that we spent more time in that heart place is looking past the pain to what is it on the other side of that, because there's something. And it's usually a way better connector than the pain itself, although that's where people tend to lean in. So pain, I'm driven by pain and what's on the other side of it, which thank you for letting me explain that all out, because I don't think I knew that until today. So thanks for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. That was like a gold mine. Yeah, like a gold mine. So pain inspires you, but it's not the pain itself. It's what the connection on the other side, or once you get through
Yeah.
that connection. Is that it?
Yeah. So, like when you go in, when we started and you went into that heart place, and I mean, I don't know how everybody else felt today, but I could feel that settling in moment, right? And so in that place, one of the things that lives there for me is almost uh, like a bullet hole, like a dark hole. It's an it's an abyss that's not an abyss because it has no end, because it's the pain, right, that connects all things. And the edges of it are crystallized and sharp. And when you try and climb in and out of that pain, boy, do you get tore up. But when you sit in that heart place and it lives in that heart place, you also can recognize that you are in control of all the things. You don't have to crawl through or in or out of it. You can just exist in that spot of connection within that heart place. And you can step in and out of that pain and experience the connection point that links, I mean, because that links you to all humanity, that dark place inside yourself. And it's because we all want the good things. We want the out of that pain space, that heart song place. And there's something that denied it in all of our lives. But if we can go touch that place, not crawl in and out of it together all the time, that's therapy. I'm not doing, you don't want me to do that. No, you don't. There are people for that. But if you are willing to touch that and decide that that is a place to go forward from, like that exists and it is part of who you are and part of humanity, what are you going to do from there? What can be that play and that curious?
That's fun. So how would you use that every day to drive you?
So interestingly enough, I literally did not plan this, I swear. So the CARA method, clarify, assess, realign, and achieve, the whole framework was what I created. And interestingly enough, parallels brain science and processes they put people through who've had traumatic brain injuries. Is a similar process. I didn't know that until like last year. Right. I was like, oh, go me. Hey! this, she taught herself pretty good, girl. Um, what I learned is that is my process of going in and out of that space without having to crawl through it. So clarify, what is the thing? What is the thing that went really well, that went really bad, that landed meh and you didn't want meh? Whatever the thing is, clarify the thing and then assess, not can it be done? Because the answer to that is always yes. It just is. It always is. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Can it be done by you? Yes, it can. Can you go all in without dying? Yes, you can. There's never how
Wow.
can you? Who can you? And boy, then it gets complicated. Because when you start asking how and who and you start assessing that, you get a real line with what could be done, like the action steps that you might actually be able to take out of this pain place without having to crawl through it so that you can achieve whatever it is on that other side. What is the thing that makes this uncomfortable? How can I get to the part where I'm like, this is nice. I like this.
Mhm.
Give me more of that. So that's, I literally apply it every day in every situation as a way to detach from pain or problems or roadblocks or challenges or frustrations so that I can get to whatever is the solutiony part on the other side. Otherwise, because otherwise I can get stuck in that dark spot swirl. I can get stuck in the I have to be right and who's to blame and pointing fingers, not me. It's not my job. Like, I can go there. It's been an embarrassing amount of my life in that place. I don't like it. I don't like me who's there. I don't like who she is in that. So we need like a ladder to get out of it. So we created the CARE method.
Nice. So what's the R for? How do you use the R in that?
Realign. It's always realigning with people. That's the leadership lean, right? Who are we doing? First it's how. How are we going to get this done? And then who are we going to do it with?
What are you going to do it with?
Because
Okay.
that's how you really achieve.
That's realigning. And then the A, the last A,
Achieve.
achieve. And
Yep.
that's okay.
So you
Beautiful.
clarify, assess, realign, and then achieve.
The action part of it. Love it. Nice. Well, I love that you came up with totally new stuff than what you were thinking.
I am gonna need a copy of this because I'm gonna need my AI to like download and like get my brain back from me. This was incredible. Thank you.
I love it so much. But you know, you're so right though. We can prep and plan and everything, but then when it comes down to the moment, the downloads can be completely different than what we ever thought possible. Yeah.
Being present, pretty powerful.
It is very powerful. It is. It is. It is. So, Cara, you may have already just shared this when you were talking about your CARA method, but what is the most important action you take each day? If it, aside from your philosophy of CARA, is there anything else that you make sure that you get done every single day? It's very important for you.
I mean, probably 1,012 things, if I'm being really honest, which is why it's hard to like pinpoint like one really important one. Because the one that's standing out in my brain is maybe the most ridiculous one. I'll just share that one. We'll just go with that one. I don't know that this is the most important one. I can't claim that, but it is definitely the one that is leaping to the top of all of the others. Um, which is a little embarrassing. So, okay, vulnerable moment. Legitimately every single day. Okay, two steps back. So, 5 years ago, my baseline uh, for anxiety attacks was 10 a day on average. That was just very, very normal. When my therapist said, you know that there are people who've never had panic attacks, I was like, how do they know they're alive? My brain was a little brainy at the time. Um, so fast forward, we've moved through the anxiety and depression, and things are we're in a really good place, right, mentally, and working consistently in that direction. And one of the things that we do just to acknowledge that I apparently is also talking we when we are downloading. I have a very large internal family system that I work with in here to manage all of the thoughts that are going on. So we my therapist said it's not a problem as long as you're in control. It's when they start controlling that it's a problem. Okay. Okay. So I'm in control. We're fine.
I love this.
So one of the things that we do is literally have like this little mental internal powwow, and we're like, look, chick, that's, I mean, that is literally just a bunch of hand gestures where we have a conversation with each other. Um, I didn't realize that I did this every single day until my husband pointed it out. And he goes, you guys unpacked something big this morning. And I was like, what are you talking? He's like, you just had a whole conversation with yourself. I watched it. I was like, yeah, we did. We're good. Today's gonna be a big day. So I have a conversation with my internal bush management team.
Cara. Love it. What a way to plan your day. Or add spice to your day, or interrupt the flow of your day, or whatever it could be.
Too spicy. That's how we do that. Welcome to the spice rack.
Oh my gosh, Kara, this has been so much fun. What a great conversation. So, do you have a way that people can get more tickled with you?
Oh yes, I yes, I am very accessible. I am on most of the medias in some form or another. You can literally just taking care of business and get right onto my calendar and come hang out. Um, there are complimentary ways to access. There are, if you are like, you know what, I just want a session. Let's do something. Let's work. They're right there. You can schedule them right there. I will share a link tree so that I will share it for those who are here, as well as we'll make sure that Ashley has it, and then you can contact me and all the things. Come hang out. I have a complimentary group, Cara Corner, on Facebook groups. And every Monday we do a weekly review. Every Friday we do a mastermind and unpack the week, and come hang out with just amazing, like-minded humans and get a little spicy.
Oh, how fun. And tickled.
Yeah.
You will always laugh when you're with Kara. Oh, this has just been a joy. Thank you. Thank you for bringing some spice to my day. I have so loved this.
Me as well. I literally, so many brain buzzes happened today. I appreciate you immensely. I'm gonna just go journal after this and unpack what I discovered with my heart song. And let that be the claimer. Have you worked with Ashley? Like, why are you waiting? Because literally I do this every day, all day, with people constantly. And just by putting me in my heart song, she unpacked things that I have been working on for 6 months. So thank you for that.
Thank you for showing up. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Well, thank you for being with us, Cara Jean. We are going to close out this part of the show before we go into our live Q&A. I want to thank everyone for joining us live, or if you're watching the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to seeing you next week as we continue to armor up our lives. I'll see you then.